Movie trailers have changed a lot over the decades, but one thing has always stayed the same: their intent. Out of all the ways movie studios market their movies, trailers are the best way for the audience to know whether or not they want to go see that movie. However, recently, the way we have been consuming trailers and how they're made are overall hurting the film industry. Let me explain. Movie studios have to delicately balance putting enough cool stuff in their trailer to attract the audience without revealing too much so they don't spoil anything. Unfortunately, they don't always strike that balance. They either show too much and you feel like you've seen the whole movie, or the trailer is so vague that it doesn't quite grab your attention and you miss out on a potentially great movie. It's gotten to the point where some trailers just lay out the whole plot of the movie for you. I'm sure there's been at least one time in recent memory that you've seen a trailer and just went, "Oh, yeah, that looks bad. I'm not gonna go see that movie." Most movie studios actually outsource their trailers to third-party companies to make the trailers for them by giving them a handful of finished shots and a direction of tone for the trailer while the studio finishes up editing the rest of the movie. Sometimes the studio can present their movie with one tone in the trailer, but that tone is completely different when that movie comes out. And I'm not just talking about action movies here. There's been this recent trend of not putting any singing or dancing when promoting musicals. Mean Girls, Wonka, and The Color Purple are all recent movie musicals that featured little to no singing or dancing in their trailers. This is just straight up manipulating the audience, I guess, to try to trick general audiences into seeing their movie by also alienating fans of musicals, which just seems counterproductive because people who were tricked into watching the movie who don't like musicals are going to spread negative word of mouth, and the people who actually like musicals aren't aware and won't see the movie. Trailers are also a last-minute way for the studios to gauge audience reception of their film. If the feedback is negative, they have just a little bit more time to scramble and try to change the movie in the edit before it actually releases. Keep in mind, this is also after multiple drafts of the script, shooting the movie, editing the movie, showing the movie to test audiences, possibly reshooting and re-editing the movie, with maybe one trailer released during all of this, and sometimes studios still don't know if the movie is going to be well received by the audience. A recent example of studios releasing a trailer and changing the movie based on the audience reception is Sonic. The original trailer had a character design so bad that no one liked it, that it went on to be called Ugly Sonic.
Yes, Ugly Sonic, that's the spirit.
And they'll like me for who I am. Not like last time when the internet got one look at my human teeth and burned the place down.
However, the studio was able to redesign, reanimate, and replace the character before the movie released, put out the metaphorical fire before it burned potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, and went on to become one of the most successful video game movie franchises of all time. But a success like this is hardly commonplace. An example of this just off the top of my head is the first Suicide Squad movie. There were so many shots in the trailer that weren't in the final cut of the movie. The tone of the trailers drastically changed after the initial audience reception. The first trailer was totally more dark and bleak, more in line with the previous movies in their shared universe, but after the poor reception of Batman v Superman, the executives at Warner Bros. Panicked and wanted the movie to change tones to be more colorful and comedic, similar to Marvel's movie about a group of misfits, Guardians of the Galaxy. Unfortunately, the movie was already pretty much done. Allegedly, there were two cuts of the film, one of them by the writer/director David Ayer, and the other was edited by one of those third-party trailer editing companies. The finished product felt like two movies mixed into one, with a lot of stuff removed, which would explain the hollow characters, poor writing and editing, and inconsistent tone. Trailers also manipulate fans in other ways by changing or removing things that are in the trailer but aren't in the movie, and this is almost exclusively in Marvel movies. There have been countless times where Marvel will change visual effects in trailers to avoid spoilers, but another thing they change that's kind of weird, honestly, is that they'll use a different take of the same shot in the movie that's different from the one that they use in the trailer. There's actually a great video by Low Quality Tom where they go through all of the trailers for all the MCU projects and point out each difference from every trailer and the final result. It's actually really interesting. I highly recommend you watch it.
This Hulk joke by Spider-Man in Homecoming was removed.
You guys aren't the real Avengers. I can tell Hulk gives it away.
There is an Avengers joke made in this scene, but it's different.
Thor, Hulk, good to finally meet you guys.
But this brings me to my next point about trailer culture. I think us comic book nerds are ruining these movies before they even have a chance. There are so many trailer breakdown videos that go frame by frame and point out details and speculate so intensely that they try to come up with the entire plot of the movie based off of one trailer. So when the movie actually comes out and it's not what was previously speculated on, it's received less favorably. They create this fake idea of what the movie is gonna be, and when it's not that, we're disappointed.
Hey, call me crazy. I think we might have seen just a couple hints about Doctor Doom, Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars that I'm going to talk about later on in the video.
And hey, I'll be the first to admit it. I used to love watching these trailer breakdown videos as much as the next person. But a few years ago, I dared to actually be surprised by the movie and to give it a chance without the expectation of a crazy internet theory. Now I try to limit myself to the first teaser and the first real trailer, and that's it. Nerds, we gotta chill. Most of these videos are by Screen Crush and New Rockstars. They come out just hours after the trailers drop, which means that they have to watch the trailer multiple times, frame by frame, write a script, record the video, edit it, and post it all within a few hours. Also, some of these videos are over 30 minutes long, which is insane because trailers are like 2.5 minutes max. They're also a big reason for why these insane theories start to circulate. I mean, just look at some of these titles and thumbnails. I get it's supposed to be clickbait, but they're selling this to you like it's fact. It's one thing to do breakdown review videos after something has already been released, but constant speculation off of just a few minutes of a film is crazy work, especially considering they're posting it nearly every day. No hate to these YouTube channels because obviously there's an audience of people out there who eat these videos up, but I think these videos are kind of hurting these movies before they even release. Comic book Twitter is no better. Between these two outlets, there's so many rumors and speculation that these movies could never live up to these expectations. Take Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness as an example. I remember seeing so many rumors and theories on Twitter and YouTube at the time, like Ben Affleck's Daredevil and the Fox X-Men characters are going to appear, and Tom Cruise as Superior Iron Man wielding the Infinity Stones. So when these things obviously didn't happen, I feel like a lot of fans were disappointed, when instead they should have been ecstatic to see Patrick Stewart back as Professor X and John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, someone that has been fan cast in that role for years leading up to that point, whose characters have both been out of Marvel's copyright for decades. What I'm trying to say is that I think movie trailers need to show us less, and I think us fans need to calm down a bit when reacting to these trailers. I think a movie like Sinners did a great job of finding that balance. I really had no idea what it was about except that it had vampires in it. I knew it was directed by Ryan Coogler and it stars not only one Michael B. Jordans, but two Michael B. Jordans. That combined with the incredible word of mouth was enough for me to go and see it. And not only was I pleasantly surprised, but I was blown away by how good the movie was. And I'd like to think part of that reason was that I had no expectations of what I wanted this movie to be. But also it's just a fantastic movie. Go see Sinners if you haven't already. Hopefully studios take notes from this movie on how to keep their audience's attention by not giving them too much info, all while making sure they still buy their tickets. I also think there are plenty of other creative ways to promote your movie. Whew. Anyway, that's my rant on movie trailers. I'll get off my soapbox now. But what do you think? Are you tired of this abundance of information we're getting from movie trailers, or are you a fan of it? Let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.